Imagine waking up every day, knowing you're the weakest in a world designed to crush the weak. You're not just weak, you're pathetically weak, mocked by hunters, pitied by strangers, and barely scraping by, just to afford your mom's hospital bills. Now imagine, all of that pain was just the beginning of your suffering. People say power solves everything, but what if I told you, being Sung Jin-woo, the most powerful hunter alive, is more of a curse than a blessing? This is not your average rise to power story. This is a deep dive into why being born as Sung Jin-woo isn't a fantasy dream. It's a nightmare wearing the mask of a hero. The world that never cared. Sung Jin-woo was born into a brutal world, the kind where monsters invade through dimensional gates, and hunters are humanity's only defense. Sounds cool, right? Except he was E rank, the absolute bottom. Imagine going to school where everyone has powers and you're just a normal kid. Now imagine that school also includes literal death missions as final exams. That's the life Jin-woo lived, and it gets worse. He didn't have a choice. Hunters are drafted, and weak or not, Jin-woo had to fight. Every day he risked death in low-level dungeons just to pay for his sick mother's hospital bills, his little sister's school fees, basic survival. That's not heroic, that's tragic survival. The public joke. He wasn't feared, he was laughed at. Known as the world's weakest hunter, he was the punchline of every meme in the hunter community. When raids were formed, teams sigh when he showed up. Not because he was a threat, but because they'd have to carry him. He had scars before he had power, and those scars weren't just physical. They were deeply emotional. The dungeon that changed everything. In a brutal twist of fate, Jin-woo enters a double dungeon, a trap where even strong hunters perish. Everyone else runs, he stays, and in the end, he dies. But then, he opens his eyes again. A strange message floats before him. You have been selected as a player. He's been given a second chance, but this is not a gift. It's a contract, one he never agreed to. The leveling system, blessing or curse. At first glance, the system seems like a miracle. He gets stronger by killing monsters and completing quests, like a video game. He starts to climb ranks, earn money, and gain confidence. But here's the horror no one talks about. The system is a prison. He can't say no to quests.
Losing humanity. Power comes at a price. As Jin-woo rises, something within him fades. He starts killing not just monsters, but humans. Criminal hunters? Dead. Corrupt guild members? Executed. Even people he once knew? Sacrificed in silence. To protect others, I must become a monster myself, he tells himself. But at what point does the line blur? When do you stop being a protector and become the very thing you were meant to fight? The Shadow Army. Jin-woo gains the ability to raise the dead as shadows. It's epic, but terrifying, because every time he adds someone to his army, it's another piece of death following him forever. Former allies become soldiers, enemies become tools, and death becomes his language of loyalty. His army grows, but his soul shrinks. He is surrounded by followers, yet utterly alone. The truth of the system. What if I told you? Jin-woo wasn't chosen for greatness. He was groomed for war. The system was never a divine gift. It was a weaponized training simulator, built by a dying race called the monarchs and rulers. Jin-woo? He's the container for the shadow monarch, the most terrifying entity in existence. His memories are false. His power isn't his. His future is not his own. You were never meant to live a happy life, Jin-woo. You were meant to become a god, or die trying. So now ask yourself, is that power, or is that slavery with a sword? The war no one sees. As Jin-woo grows stronger, a cosmic war unfolds, one that only he can perceive. He fights monarchs, rulers, demigods. He dies, comes back, dies again. But in doing so, he realizes something bone-chilling. Every person he's ever known, every relationship he's had, was always at risk, not from dungeons, but from him. He is the greatest threat to the world, and he knows it. Losing everyone. Jin-woo's journey isn't a typical shonen get strong and make friends arc. It's a solo leveling because it's a solo suffering. His mother wakes from her coma, only to see a son she doesn't recognize. His sister lives in his shadow. The woman who loves him, Cha Hae-in, stands by him, but never truly beside him. Because gods walk alone. He saves the world, but loses the right to belong in it. The choice of sacrifice. In the end, Jin-woo faces the final invasion, the monarchs versus humanity. He wins, but he knows the cost. Billions could have died. So, he makes a heartbreaking choice. Does it suck to be born as Sung Jin-woo? Not because he was weak, not because he suffered, not even because he fought gods, but because he carried the weight of the world, saved every life on earth, and in return got nothing. No fame, no family, no peace. He is a god among men, forced to live among mortals, silently praying that the world never needs him again. And that is the cruelest fate of all. So the next time someone says, "I wish I was Sung Jin-woo," tell them this: be careful what you wish for. Because behind every overpowered protagonist is a soul drowning in silence. This was not a story about power. This was a story about loneliness disguised as greatness. If this blew your mind and made you see Jin-woo in a new light, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more anime breakdowns, and drop a comment below. Would you trade places with Sung Jin-woo if it meant losing everything? Until next time, stay strong, stay human.